All right. Since we all, where I live, have decided that European culture is so pervasive and dominant in the world, I suggest African culture is too. Africa is many countries, so is Europe. They're not all the same. That it, mixed with the white knuckle control ethic of Europe, a unity in Europe, has made the greatness that America assuredly is great. Nothing to do with her European Magna Carta, her Constitution, her founding father. Rather contrary, especially since two of these special ones, Lincoln and Jefferson, articulately assuaged their guilt over their slave-reliant civilization by insisting the freed people should be colonized away from their ex-owners. Oh. Of course, their superiority-reliant civilization lingers on. Do not allow yourself ever the deception that either of these superstars believed in African equality. The best they could do was pity and a vague sense that owning other people, however inferior, was just not nice. What that would have cost us, America and the world, is as incomprehensible to me as I am informed a world without Mozart or Shakespeare would be, at least. I don't know why, on what grounds I feel this. I am strange, I understand. I know what isn't in the way for me to have imagined it. That's all I know, but I have no fewer grounds for my notions than claiming European culture is the most influential. The great Tom Holland, the historian, not Spidey, makes this oops, claiming Christianity's 2,000 years of influence, apparently forgetting that 3 continents hadn't been, quote, discovered by the Jesus cult till 1492 years into its time. It just falls from their lips like honey, this propaganda. Or that influence did happen came at the end of a gun barrel. It was, what shogun? It was Machiavellian. Make them fear you, as surely as he was a devout Catholic. So mono was this movement, so inherently Puritan and fascist that all kinds of humanity went dormant within it. This hasn't changed either. The rigidity in defining the Hamases of this world is wonderful evidence of the severely limited European mind. I don't know what it is. It's like brain damage. They just cannot see the resistance tradition going back deep into history. In fact, to the Jewish revolt. The Jewish revolt. They are like brain damaged. Everything just happens for the first time. Oh my God. This limitation makes history unavailable to them, unless Hollywood points it out, a very unreliable source. The big part of what made Caesar Caesar was Caesar. He wrote his own history, often called bragging in other cultures, but not in ours. Almost every politician babbles on about what they have done, the bills they have passed, the bipartisan stuff that they have done, but that those haven't. It's cultural. European Western culture has decided its own importance, has written endlessly of it, dropped leaflets from Medici to Sunak upon the place beneath. What I do know, there are at least 5 major pre- and during Judeo-Christian Islamic occupation religions in Africa. Are there studies of, is there interest in, the beliefs Africans left Africa with in the European ships? We're obsessed with what the Greeks thought. We're obsessed with what the Romans thought, all pre-Christian. They shared some characteristics with us, a creator God far away, demigods, ancestors, respect for elders. Some wisdoms we snort at. It takes a village is an Africanism. And who snorts? The one who insists it takes a nuclear family, a dad with dough, and a mom who likes cleaning. The insistences today about the broken home, one-parent family, pat accusations of the black world need looking at, beyond their white supremacist myth. poor old Andrew Sullivan was seriously and famously hushed by Heather McGhee, who spoke the sacrilege. Recent studies show that the African-American family is healthier than the white one. He scoffed at this ridiculous proposition. The racist myth met destructive fact and choked. And on the evidence, looking at history, I know it's tough, the African-American peoples maintained astonishing cultural standards and unities in the Americas during and after slavery. I'd be studying up on the absence of Hamas-like rebellions in US history. We do know the whites were terrified at the possibility. The fear saturates the Constitution, the Second Amendment, etc. Another reality we share with ancient Rome that just stays and stays. Fear of the people we abuse. There it is, blatant from the start, to the intellectual heights of Du Bois and Frederick Douglass, to Soul on Ice, James fucking Baldwin. Ali and the civil rights movement shook up the world. Some of Europe toils away to progress as monocultures. England, that I know, is trying while kicking and screaming at the rehab of its vaunted used-to-be greatness. I think this is the deep root of the power elite support of the monocultural fantasy of Zionism. Now, I have been told on Zionism, I have been told we all want an ancestral homeland. I can challenge that. I will. I'm a citizen of the King Planet. To say it is human nature is arguable if we look at ourselves over the thousands and thousands of years of civilizations. Before the 3,000 we always focus on, the ones closest to us, there's another 50 at least. We were, most of us, nomadic most of the time. We developed relationships to the planet. We would be well advised to ponder and resuscitate. Starting where? Our universal ancestral homeland is a skinny bit of Kenya. We walked out of Africa. It is a very real possibility that this myth of home, this standing still and only looking across the savannah and seeing only what you want to see, only what you know. An executive at Coca-Cola told me one time, true story, it's with great enthusiasm. He told me that the CEO of Coca-Cola wanted the whole world to be able to stand on the Kalahari Desert and look from one Coke machine and see another Coke machine. He was thrilled at this notion. Yes, we walked out of Africa. It is a very real possibility that this myth of home, this standing still and only looking across the savannah and seeing only what you know, only what you recognize, that clinging to beliefs that define you rather than stepping out from behind that petticoat, does us no good at all.